G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. And who doesn't love a good cake recipe? But there are so many versions out there, it's unbelievable. But I'm not going to make a boring one, I'm going to spruce it up a little bit. So join me today as I make my version of a strawberry cake. So we're going to start this cake recipe off by creaming our butter. So into a mixing bowl, we're going to place 250 grams or 2 sticks of softened butter. And to that, 1 cup of sugar. Now using a hand mixer or a stand mixer, we're going to beat this on low until it's nice and creamy and the sugar is dissolved. Okay, now that it's all nice and creamy, to that we're going to pour in 4 eggs and about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And again, we're going to mix that through until it's well combined. Okay, now that that's all mixed in, to that we're going to add in 4 cups of self-raising flour. Now if you can't find self-raising flour, use normal flour and add 4 tablespoons of baking powder. And then to that, 1 cup of milk. And we're just going to mix that through for about, say, 20 seconds, just till it's well combined. Now that's combined, I have 2 cups of mashed up strawberries. Now I've mashed them up through a food processor. Now if you don't have a food processor, you can just mash them up any way you like, just until you get a nice runny consistency. So we're just going to pour that straight in. And we're just going to quickly mix that through, just till it's combined. Okay, next I have 2 springform pans. I'm just lining the base with non-stick baking paper. And we're just going to give them a quick grease, just with some cooking spray oil. And we're just going to evenly divide our mixture between both the springform pans. Okay, so finally we're going to place these into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. Okay, so I've taken our cake out of the oven. Now the best way to check that if it is ready, just get a wooden skewer, just stick it right in the center, and if it comes out clean, it's ready. Okay, so next we're going to make our icing. So into a bowl, I'm going to place in our powdered or icing sugar. Now that's about 3 cups worth, and I've just mashed up some more strawberries, and I'm just going to add in about a 1/4 cup of that. We just want to add a little bit of time until we get the right consistency. So when it comes to making up our icing, you have to play it by ear. That's why we just add a little bit of liquid at a time, just until we get to the desired thickness and stickiness that we need for this cake. So as you can see, it's still a little bit too dry, so we're just going to add some more strawberry. And we're just going to keep on doing that until we get it exactly how we want it. Okay, and that's the desired thickness that we're after. So it's not too runny, it's not too thick, it's just right. Okay, so I have our first layer of cake here. So on top of that, we're going to place on some of our icing sugar. And next we're going to place on our second layer of cake. And now we're going to gently place our icing around the outside of the cake. Now that I've placed the icing on the outside of the cake, next I'm going to use these wafers. Now these are incredibly cheap, but you'll have to admit they do look effective. So we're just going to simply stick them onto the icing and around the entire cake. Now as you can see, there's been some cracking on top of the cake. That's just from when I was doing the icing, but it makes no difference whatsoever because we're about to cover that up. And it doesn't get any more simpler than this, we're just going to use some strawberries. Now once we've placed the strawberries on top, we're just going to give it a light dusting of icing sugar. And there's the finished product, our strawberry cake. So while it looks like there's a lot of work involved, as you can see, it is actually very simple to make. It's as simple as baking the cake, slapping on some icing, and sticking on some wafers and some strawberries. But when you have all that together in one wonderful cake slice, you know this strawberry cake's gonna taste simply delish. So if you want to try a strawberry cake, and you want to try something that's a little bit different, not only taste-wise, but looks-wise, give this one a go because I'm sure you will love it. So thank you for watching this episode of Todd's Kitchen. As always, I'll leave a list of ingredients down below, as well as links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Home Handy Hints channel. And please do me a massive favour by giving this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another delicious recipe.